What is up, everybody? This is Cody, aka DFS Project, coming to you live, breaking out this upcoming DraftKings breakdown for UFC. Before we get like for me though, definitely subscribe. It's been a while since I got a video. I've spent some time with the family, been working a lot, but I'm gonna target, or what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about my top three DraftKings plays. I'm not gonna go over every fight because we're kind of on a time crunch. The fights are tomorrow. Um, there's a lot of videos out there, obviously breaking down this UFC card. So that's why I figured let's be different. Let's just talk about certain fights and how we're going to go about them. But like I said, always like wonderful me though. Definitely subscribe. And one of the fights I wanted to talk about is this Jonathan Brito versus Weston Wilson. So Brito, he's a massive favorite, and it's well deserved. I mean, against Weston Wilson, I mean, he's a training kind of guy, training partner kind of guy. I don't trust Wilson here. I don't like Wilson, obviously. A lot of people aren't going to like him, but a lot of people are going to look at that Jonas and Brito at the price tag and say it's gross. They're not playing it, that they're not even going to look at it. So, Wilson, we know he's kind of a submission artist. That will be kind of the pathway I only see him winning this fight. It's UFC, thanks and change. But Burrito at 9-6, if he can get that first round submission or knockout, I'm gonna love it here. I'm gonna love it. Like I said, I can see him knocking out Wilson with ease in the first round. I don't see Wilson being a guy that can get this job done. I know he's finally have his time in the UFC. He's been wanting this for a while. Like I said, he's been kind of the training partner. I just don't like Wilson. I think Burrito is going to be the guy that everybody's going to look at, like I said, and kind of say, "No, I'm not playing it because of the price tag." But I mean, it's kind of hard not to love it. Um, and people are going to look at this other fight with Garam and say, "Well, why can I not go to Garam at 9-4?" I don't think he gets the job done in this fight. I don't think he gets it done quick, at least. I think he can win, of course, but I don't see him getting the job done quick enough. So that's why I'm kind of just like, man. Another fight that we're going to kind of, like I said, look at is I kind of like Ivanov, especially looking at Romanov on the scales. It looks disgusting. I don't like that, seeing him on the scales. I think Ivanov is tough enough to get this fight basically getting done at 7-9. I know Romanov hasn't looked great the past couple fights. Even though he's a tough fighter, he's been through a lot. We know his history with the stabbing and everything like that. Romanov has not looked good the past couple fights, especially now being on the scales looks disgusting. I don't like it. I like Ivanov a lot more now in this fight. I liked him beforehand. I like him even more now. At 7-9, you can definitely target him. Um, like I said, if you want to add Ivanov into the mix, I wouldn't blame you. Um, Frakadidov versus Kevin Lee. So Kevin Lee, he looked good on the scales. That's what worries me now. Is people are going to look at that and say he looked good on those scales. At 7-4, it's tough. I mean, we saw the win on Eagle FC. It wasn't fantastic. It wasn't one of the greatest, but I mean, it was a win. It looked good. But Frakadidov, we know the competition's there. We know the DraftKings upside's there. He's been a monster among men. At 8-8, I like it, but I wouldn't mind sprinkling in some Kevin Lee also. To talk about another fight that we can certainly look at, Bruno. Bruno, 8-4, knockout potential. I see it. I see it. He can get to the knockout win at 8-4. I would not mind that one bit at that price tag either. Um, Gato, another fighter that I'm definitely looking at. Let's click over this. I'm not really looking at this fight. I'm not really looking at the Rosa and Santos fight, but I will say Rosa didn't look good on the scales. Bonfim, that's a toss up in my opinion, but 9-2. I'm not trusting that. Like I said, Gato, I wouldn't mind that at 8-7 either. Um, Looking at the Griffin and Morales fight, Morales is young and up and coming prospect. Griffin's tough, man. Griffin's definitely tough. That is a tough fight. Um, Morales is a prospect, like I said. He's an up and coming fighter. He's young. He's got 2 wins underneath his belt now versus Trevon Giles and Adam Fugit. Forget about it. Fugit scored well in both those fights, but again, Matt Griffin's a tough customer. This is a step up in competition for Morales, in my opinion. Got a good one against Tim Means, Mandy, Condit, Kinnan. I mean, look at the competition he has fought. Marino. it's hard not to pay or 7-2 for him. I like it. I mean, yes, Morales is the better fighter in my opinion, but 7-2 for Matt Griffin, I kind of like it for a salary saver. Grant Dawson versus Demir. You're telling me 8-2 for Demir to get the job done? I mean, I know Grant Dawson's finally changed camps versus James Krause. Maybe that had something to do with his losses. I think it did. I mean, I think it did certainly. Like I said, kind of impacted his mentality, not with the losses, but I mean with the performance, basically how he looked in some of those fights. Gonna get a win versus Mark Madison sub. But this is Demir. This is a different fighter. I kind of liking Demir here at 8-2. But I want to bits and pieces of this fight. In the last fight, give me Strong Strickland all the way at 8-5. Better competition. Strong Strickland on the spot. He's been in 5-round fights. That short notice fight was extremely well for him versus Kinnear. I know didn't look great, but I mean 157 strikes, 194 strikes. I love it. 8-5 for Strong Strickland. The grappling's going to be there for him. It's going to be a scramble. It's going to be a bloody fight. It's going to be a grappling affair, in my opinion. But I mean, I'm liking Strong Strickland here at 8-5. It's kind of the fights I'm targeting. Like I said, if you don't want to pay 9-6 for Burrito, I get it. But a lot of people aren't going to. Even off based on the scales, Bruno with the knockout potential, Strong Strickland with the knockout potential, and the better just competition straightforward. It's kind of a quick breakdown for this UFC card. But again, we'll be back next week for another card. I cannot wait for it. So hope you have a great safe rest of the night. Have a good one, everybody.